Now I know what you're thinking. Fender makes a lot of guitars, so how do I know which one out of their lineup is right for me and my style of playing? As an owner and player of Fender's 3 most popular guitar models, I'm going to try to help you answer that question today. Because today we're going to be comparing a Fender Stratocaster, a Fender Telecaster, and a Fender Jazzmaster. This is my 2012 Fender American Standard Stratocaster. Now if you're looking to get one of these now, it's going to be about $1,300. Fender did away with the American Standard, and now they replaced it with the American Professional Series. Alright, let's plug the old Stratocaster in and see how it sounds. Alright, so review time for the Strat Pros. My favorite sound in probably the entire guitar universe is the sound of a neck pickup on a Strat by itself. Sounds fantastic. It is so fat and juicy. It reminds me a lot of myself. But it sounds great. Just the neck pickup on a Strat by itself sounds really good. Now the neck and the middle pickup as well sound really good together. It's got a really unique, kind of like nasally sound to it, but it sounds really good also. The middle position by itself, I'm not crazy about. The neck pickup, it's got a good kind of country twang sound. You can have a real bright sound out of that and give a Tele a run for its money. It's just, I don't know, if I'm trying to do that, I would rather play a Tele. But it still sounds good, sounds great, but still the neck pickup definitely takes the cake. That's one of the most intrinsic things about a Strat to me, is just the big fat neck pickup by itself with a clean tone. I mean, it sounds so good. It's refreshing. It's like a breath of fresh air. But as far as dislikes, I really don't have any on this particular instrument. It sounds great. The only thing that I have bickering with about Strats, and it's silly, but it's the toggle switch being down here. It drives me nuts because when you have sausage links for fingers, like some of us people, and you're playing, it's really easy to just flip that switch. When you have it on the neck pickup and you're having a great time and you're playing and you just flick it on accident when you're strumming, that's the one thing that drives me nuts about a Strat. But other than that, great guitar. I would highly recommend this to anybody who's thinking about a Strat. It's a reasonably priced Strat, kind of in between a custom shop, you know, for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and a Squire that's like $200-300. It's kind of a good middleman. But my favorite thing about these is just their workhorses. You can just wear these things out and they will keep going. It's like a Toyota Prius with 300,000 miles on it. Not to compare a Strat to a Prius, and no hate to Prius drivers, but that's kind of what I equate it to, is just a workhorse that won't stop. You can just wail on these things and beat on these things, and they just keep going. So that's my review on the Strat. Sounds great. So now let's check out the Telecaster. Next up is my 2014 Fender American Deluxe Telecaster. I've had this one for quite a while. Bought it in 2015 new. If you're looking to get a new one of these in 2024, it's going to cost you about $1,500-ish bucks, somewhere in there. All right, so Tele review time. So, a lot of good things to say about this instrument. This thing sounds fantastic. It's really hard to beat the sound of a Telecaster, especially if you're playing country music. The neck pickup and the lead pickup sound fantastic. The neck pickup, I don't think gets enough credit. It sounds really good. You can somewhat mimic a Strat to a degree, I think. It's not quite as fat sounding as a Strat is, but it still sounds really, really good. You can do some really beautiful, clean stuff with a Telecaster. But the bridge pickup, I mean, needs no explanation. It sounds fantastic. It's got all the twang you could ever want. That's a really hard sound to mimic with any other guitar. Just the country twang you can get out of a Tele on the bridge pickup sounds fantastic. The neck is like butter. It's just so smooth. A great sounding guitar all around. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you have the means, this is a fantastic instrument. I would highly recommend getting one of these if you have the means. But anyway, on to our next guitar. We're going to the Jazzmaster. And lastly is my 2019 Fender American Performer Jazzmaster. If you're looking for one of these, gonna run you about $1,250 to $1,300 for a new one. Jazzmaster review. So I will go ahead and say, of the three that we're looking at today, this is my least favorite to play, just because I don't think it suits my style as well as the other two. When I pick one of these up, I don't want to rip a big fat mad solo like I do on the other two, or play country. When I pick one of these up, I have a really bad tendency to want to roll the tone all the way down and stomp on a fuzz box and just make it as fuzzy and distorted and as crazy sounding as possible. Not saying that's a bad thing, just not my style as much as the other two, but I still like the way it plays. It's still got a really good sound to it. Compared to the other two, they're a little more my style, but this still has a great sound. Pickups sound good, both positions. You can do some fun stuff with this. To me, this is like, I'm just gonna experiment and do some weird stuff kind of guitar. At least that's what it is to me. This may be your everyday, I don't know. But I still like it. It's still a good guitar. Just not as crazy, to me as the other two are as far as playability and everyday use. But this may be you. Maybe this is what you want to get funky on and get weird on. By all means, go for it. Just not as much my style, but still three great options that you have. So let's kind of dissect all those just a little bit further and kind of divide them up. All right, so after playing all three and kind of going back and forth between them, I'm going to break it up into a couple different categories. As far as versatility goes, if you need something that is versatile, can play everything, a Strat. It's going to be a Strat across the board. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. A Stratocaster, just the sounds that you can get out of a Strat, you can mimic a lot of things. Kind of bar none on that. The other two, they're somewhat comparable, but not really. To me, it's not a competition. A Strat, versatility-wise, is going to be your horse. I would put all my money on that for versatility, because you can play anything with it. Not to say you can't play anything with the other two, but a Strat, just to me, it offers the most tonal difference. You can make it sound like more guitars than just one guitar, if that makes sense. So versatility, definitely gonna go with a Strat. Now, uniqueness. This guy right here makes me play different. As weird as it sounds, when I pick this up, I don't want to play stuff that I normally play. My normal practice routine kind of goes out the window. This makes me want to do weird stuff. I want to, like I said, I don't normally play with a whole lot of fuzz. I put a little fuzz on the demo there when I was playing it so you guys could kind of hear what I meant when I would say this, but this just makes me want to do weird stuff. It makes me want to put on a fuzz pedal. It makes me want to do weird, crazy sounding chords. I don't know. This one just kind of makes me think outside the box. As weird as it is to say that a guitar could make you want to play different, this makes me want to play different. To me, this is kind of the unicorn of the three. It's the weirdest one. So uniqueness, definitely this guy right here. Now, as far as best bang for the buck, Telecaster. Can't argue that enough, hands down. Not to say these other two don't play great, they do. But if you're gonna spend $1,200 to $1,300 on one of these two, I would recommend spending the extra $200 and getting the American Deluxe. It's just, there's no comparison. Price-wise, what you get, I think you get more than what you pay for. Now, don't let Fender or Gibson or any of them hear that, but with the Tele, I think you get a much more expensive guitar than what it costs. I would pay more for that guitar if I had to. I really would. It sounds that good and it plays so smooth. I can't really recommend a Tele enough. You can play a lot of stuff with a Tele too. I know a lot of guys use them for country and rock and blues, but they still sound great. It's a great sounding guitar all around, but that particular guitar, the American Deluxe, should cost more than it does. It really should. It should be a much more expensive guitar. But comparing it price-wise with these other two, I would recommend that one. I think it's the best buy for what you're gonna pay roughly for all of these, because they're all within, $300-400 of each other. Maybe you can find a good deal on a used one. I always recommend shopping used. I've got a lot of my guitars used. But try to seek out a used one if you can. You might be able to save yourself some money. But if you're looking new, roughly you're going to be $300-400 price-wise. Of these, they're all relative of each other. But hands down, Tele is going to be best buy for the money. Now, as far as personal opinion and what I would pick, desert island guitar, I can only play one for the rest of my life. I'm gonna go Strat, hands down. Tonal capacity and overall tone, I have to give to the Strat. It's just, there's no comparison with the other two. Now, you can play anything with the other two, I'm not negating that, but a Stratocaster, it sounds like more than one guitar. For what you pay versus what you get, I feel like you're buying 5 guitars with that. I mean, with your tonal switch, the way you can, go between 2 pickups, and not saying you can't do that on another guitar, but just the sound that you get with those 3 single coils on those it's fantastic. It really sounds good. So if I had to pick one to only play for the rest of my life, I would definitely go Strat. But Tele is a really great option. I definitely think you're getting the best, you know, bang for your buck if you're looking for one, you know, to spend that extra couple hundred to get the American Deluxe. The American Deluxe is, I would put it up against any custom shop that they make. It's really that good. And then this thing, obviously, you know, this is the weird and wacky. You know, it's really unique. It makes me want to play different, like I said, but overall, you have 3 great options. You really just need to establish, you know, what kind of style you're playing, you know, what your needs are, because they all really suit different needs. They all do. You can do 3 very different things with all 3 of these guitars. So I would kind of establish, here's what I'm looking to play, here's what I'm looking to spend. You know, because price-wise, these are all relative. Like I said, they're in the same price range. I tried to pick 3 that were in the same price range. That way, you know, prices didn't vary from like $250 to like $1,000 or anything crazy like that. So they're all relatively priced. But 10 out of 10, I would recommend any of them. They're all great guitars. Fender makes a great guitar. They make a relatively more affordable guitar as well, you know, compared to some other brands. But still, Fender does a great job, you know, with their custom shop, American Standard, Professional, Performer, Deluxe Series, whatever one you buy out of. They're all great. So 10 out of 10 recommend any of them. But personally speaking, I'm going to have to go with Strat. Just overall versatility, I think that's going to be my winner, at least for this video. And in my opinion, I'm going to take the Strat. Tele guys, Jazzmaster guys, don't come for me. Just personal opinion, I would prefer a Strat. So that's my pick of the 3. But guys, that'll conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to build the channel up with more lessons, reviews, comparisons, all kinds of fun stuff, guitar-related content for you guys. So please subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate that. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Hopefully, if you're going back and forth between a Tele and a Jazzmaster or a Strat and a Tele, maybe today kind of helped you decide, you know, which avenue to go down. That's more or less the point of this video. So I hope it served a purpose for you in some way. But again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.